This kind of shocked me, but I didn't hate this movie. I feel like you probably did.
I don't know what he's thinking right now.
I don't know either. He's just making intense eye contact, eating an Uncrustable.
Enjoying the Crustable. Hey everyone, we're back. He's eating a sandwich.
It smells delicious.
Uncrustable.
Sorry.
Not sponsored either. This is not an ad,
No.
but
He's just really hungry.
these are great.
And it smells great too.
It does. It's like a candle.
I wish we had smell-o-vision.
You want to smell it?
PB&J.
Toy Story 4, the sequel to Toy Story 1, 2, and 3.
You don't say.
I do say. It's,
Shocking twist there.
that's amazing, right? It's Pixar's movie of the year. It's not going to make as much as Avengers, but it's going to make an astronomical amount of money. And it follows Andy's ex-toys.
Oh, that's so sad to hear.
That's very, just right off the bat, it's like, oh yeah, like it starts with the montage.
I don't want to eat my sandwich anymore.
I'm sorry I've depressed you already. Woody has an existential crisis because he doesn't know where he belongs. And he befriends Forky, an imaginary fork that comes to life. And they get into hijinks and try to go back to Bonnie.
Now, this seems, that when you explain it, it sounds a lot like Toy Story 2.
I promise you it's not.
Okay.
On the surface,
That's good.
On the surface, sure, like a little bit.
Yeah.
But the themes and what it talks about are completely different.
Okay.
And like this is like empty nester movie almost. Woody doesn't know what his purpose has been fulfilled, and now he's sad and depressed and doesn't know what to do.
Woody always has an existential crisis, though.
He kind of does.
Constantly just worrying about everything.
I don't know what to do. There's a snake in my boot. I don't think it's as good as 3 because I'm not thinking about it nearly as much. But it's more fun than what I mean is like whimsical. It's more happy-go-lucky.
I hear it's
almost.
really. I hear you've got like Key and Peele who show
They're
up.
fantastic.
And I
They're
hear
so
Keanu
funny.
Reeves shows up.
And I
pretty
want more of
awesomely.
him.
Oh man, like it
Keanu
is the
Reeves
year of
having
Keanu
summer.
Reeves. It is
It
the
is.
year of Reeves.
It is the Reeve-pocalypse.
Key and Peele have like probably the funniest joke of the year so far, where like the entire.
I don't
theater
know.
was
There's a line in Chucky that is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my god. Okay.
So I will explain that. You know.
Actually, Keanu Sots is what
Keanu
it is.
Sots.
Sorry, I've been thinking about that the whole time as you guys are talking.
Pixar used to be like avoiding humans, but now they got it after Coco.
Do you remember how scary Andy's sister was in the first one?
terrifying?
Oh. And Sid.
But yeah, Sid is
Ugh.
like an alien. There's a scene whenever a human like gets a close up and she does this, and like you can see the individual hairs.
Oh, nice.
It blew my mind.
You know, I get worried about Pixar sequels because Monsters Inc. is a prequel, really, but it's fine. Or Monsters University.
Yeah.
The Cars sequels are kind of all over the place.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I loved Incredibles too, but it still feels like it
didn't really.
didn't
wasn't
need
necessary.
it. Yeah, and does that suffer from this? Or are we done? Like I hear Pixar's kind of done with sequels.
This
I think
has
it
to
is.
be done. This has to be the
It
end.
had to be the okay.
Because I thought, 3 was like the perfect ending to me. But then once they said 4, I'm like, oh, like, why? But now, after watching, I'm like, okay, yeah, that was fun.
How many Uncrustables out of 10 would you give Toy Story 4?
I think I would give Toy Story 4 9 Uncrustables out of 10.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's a lot of Uncrustables.
That's a bellyache.
It was.
Really.
I enjoyed it so much.
This kind of shocked me, but I didn't hate this movie. I feel like you probably did.
I don't know what he's thinking right now.
I don't know either. He's just making intense eye contact, eating an Uncrustable.
Enjoying the Crustable.
It wasn't great, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Basically, the plot is
Yeah.
the buddy toy is created, but it's interconnected to all your home devices.
Yeah.
So it's like an Alexa, only it's an ugly child's toy.
Freaky.
It's like if you put some clothes on your Alexa.
It's like a Terminator, but it was a toy.
And the original Chucky, which if you haven't seen the original Chucky or haven't seen it in a while, it's pretty weird.
A toy gets possessed by a soul.
They accuse a 6-year-old of murder twice and throw him in an insane asylum. That's what we're dealing with here. So this movie just throws all that away and says, you know what, let's just stick with the killer doll. Give it a little bit of a, modern twist and like with a message, and let's just have it be like this chip malfunction, or not really a chip malfunction.
Yeah.
It really is just a dude who says a laborer, and he's just like mad at his boss who just fired him, and so he's just like, whatever. So this kid ends up with this defective buddy doll. It starts to learn, and they want to be best friends, and then he starts being weird and killing people. This is a movie that like, it is good that they changed it. And it makes, I think, Chucky more of a sympathetic character versus a guy who just wants a kid's body like to live in.
Yeah.
It's very much like this kid who's lonely and he doesn't have anyone to hang out with, and he's just kind of like, this doll's like, hey, I want to be your best friend, and he's like, cool.
This one is more artistic in terms of like the cinematography.
Yes, it is. It's actually like a really cool movie to look at.
I will say I prefer the originals, especially the late '90s versions, where it just like goes absolutely bonkers. Bride of Chucky is absolutely the best Chucky movie of all time.
I can't even look at you in the face when you say that.
It is hilarious. This one, they make Chucky ugly, and it's disgusting to look at him.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him more creepy in this one.
Mark Hamill does such a great job of not making it like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
You know, he just
I want to be your friend.
it really
That's
it's like
horrifying.
listening to a Teddy Ruxpin like, hey Andy, like I killed your cat because it was mean to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
I am disappointed at the ending though, where they end in the store.
Yeah.
Where there's a bunch of buddies.
Yes.
And you think like you're gonna see like a bunch of
So many,
buddies.
yeah.
There's just like one or two that are just like around.
There's a few parts, it really does feel, there are times where it feels like they did things just to do things. Like there's a creepy like building supervisor
Yeah.
who that feels kind of shoved in. I will say though, okay, so Aubrey Plaza is dating this guy who Andy does not like, and that causes problems with Chucky and the guy. Brian Tyree Henry is in this, Paperboy from Atlanta, and he's in like everything right
And he's
now.
playing a police officer.
Wow.
And like I love it. He's pretty much playing himself, and I love it. But he has the best line I've ever heard, maybe in a movie. He just says, "White man dead in a watermelon patch, poetic." And I was just like, "What?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I think it's about right.
Maybe 6 and like a half of an Uncrustable."
Like someone has eaten it and left it out, and you're just like,
and I
you're
got,
like,
I'm hungry.
I'm still hungry.
Oh.
That's mine. You're like a 6, and your kid had fallen asleep, and you're like, well, no one else is
he's
gonna
like,
eat that.
it's gonna go in the trash if I don't eat it.
There's a lot of events with Uncrustables.
Yeah, you can do anything with Uncrustables.
You can throw them at people because they're frozen, and you can
Right in the skull.
right in the skull. You could put a snowball around it, and then put it in the freezer with it, and then you hit them with the frozen ice ball, and then when they wake up, they have an Uncrustable to eat because it's thawed out.
What did you learn in Chucky?
Un esercito di prodi da me guidato.
There's a snake in my boot.